Deep fakes of the ABC's well-known health reporter Norman Swan have been circulating the internet for the past 18 months, and the consequences have proven harmful.
The methods that traditional diets and pills use simply don't work. They harm you more than they help.
This is a deepfake video of Norman Swan, but it was another kind, a deepfake article, which convinced an Australian retiree to stop taking his medication. David Bell is a retiree from the northern suburbs of Melbourne, and once he read the article, which was claiming to come from Norman Swan, he was convinced to stop taking his diabetes medication, metformin. That's a drug which is effective in helping to prevent diabetes complications such as blindness and kidney damage.
I stopped taking these pills, these Giardamet pills. I'm angry with myself for having fallen for it. You're a well-known figure in the health service. Why would I not believe you?
Well, the real Dr. Norman Swan is with me in the studio. Hi there, Norman. So how did you find out? As far as I can tell.
Yep.
How did you find out that these deep fakes were out there?
Well, we started getting emails from listeners to the health report saying, I've just bought these supplements, or I've seen this ad, is it real? In fact, David there, when he had second thoughts, and he emailed us to ask whether or not this was real, and we told him fairly quickly it was a scam. We tried to have them taken down. The ABC tried to have them taken down. The ABC's had a few of these scams with ABC presenters such as Alan Kohler, Carl Kruszelnicki and so on, and failed to get them, find it very hard to get them taken down. Then another one appeared late last year, Professor Jonathan Shaw, who's head of diabetes at the Baker Institute in Melbourne, again telling people to stop taking their medication and taking this unproven supplement. So we started investigating for 7:30, and we found people who had been taken in by this. They had paid what they thought was $200 for 3 bottles, 2 free, ended up getting deducted well over $300, and found themselves on a monthly deduction of $300 they had no idea they were being subjected to for supplements that have no evidence that they work.
As well as the financial impacts, the results can be, as we've seen, really harmful.
Yeah, because you're going off a medication that's preventing blindness, your diabetes going out of control, and cardiovascular side effects, yes.
Who's behind the deepfakes?
Very hard to find out. We have traced some of this to 3 companies, 1 in New Zealand, 2 in Queensland, and they some of the people behind them appear to be related by family. So it seems to be a same family. We found an address in Marrickville in the inner west of Sydney where they were being shipped from, and when we went to that address we found that it was actually a branch of the New Zealand Post Office. So they were just using that as a post, the post office unwittingly sending them out. There appears to be a mother company, not necessarily related in a corporate sense, who probably in the United States, that's encouraging people with high commissions to sell these products. When the products seem to be being attacked on the internet by people trying to defend the process, they change and they switch brands, and other people start selling different brands but almost identical products. It's a whack-a-mole. You stop one and another one pops up. Extremely easy to make.
Well, you say the ABC has made efforts to have these deepfakes removed. What response have they had when they've approached Meta and other organisations? On
7:30 tonight, we interview the person at Meta globally that's head of this area of trying to combat fraud, who tells us that they are getting better at this. In 2024, they intercepted about 1 billion of these fakes. What they think is 99.7% of them. But even if it's 0.3% of that volume, it's still a lot of deep fakes getting through. And they acknowledge that there is a problem with the complaints mechanism to actually have these taken down. But the Australian government has passed legislation through the ACCC that if they find a scam and they don't take it down, companies like Meta could be subject to multi-million-dollar fines.
So what's your advice to people who see these deep fakes? How can they trust what they're seeing and hearing?
That's the problem with trust. But if you see any person who belongs to the ABC flogging something on air, we're not allowed to do that. We wouldn't do that. Don't believe it. And if it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true.